Hey everyone, it's JC. Did you like my title for this video? How binge eating can be a gift. If you've been around on my channel, you may know exactly where I'm going with this, but if you're new to me, I'm going to take some time today to convince you that even your worst binges, your biggest food addiction, disordered eating, whatever that looks like, can be a gift in your life where the Lord can use it for your good. So trust me for a minute. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to start with some verses that I've been pondering. My mind has kind of been stuck on a theme of the word power in the scriptures. I'll just share a few. It started when I was in Ephesians chapter 1, Paul's magnificent prayer there, where he talks about the exceeding greatness of Christ's power to us who believe, according to the working of his mighty power. And then I was searching. I mean, there's so many, that well. 2 Corinthians 12, where Paul talks about Christ's power in his weakness. And he gets so excited about it that he says, "All glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me." Like, the taste of his power is so cool. I'm going to glory in those weak moments. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, all things. Isaiah 40:29, he giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increases strength. You know this theme well. As believers, we hear it all the time. And here's the problem. I think sometimes, and maybe it's not a problem, maybe it's just a minor thing. For those of us that are active in the faith, we're going to church, we're in our scriptures, we are praying, we are believers. We're not just cultural Christians. We are active in the community doing the thing. And that brings benefits. It brings blessings. And we have probably tasted his power in our lives. But I think what we sometimes do is we say, yes, I have his power. And so we think we've already received all there is to receive. What our binge moments do for us is wipe away our denial. It makes us go pretend. Let's say you had a really, really rough day or weeks. Maybe it's been several weeks of binging where you're just out of control and you just can't cope right now. And sometimes we do that mindlessly, but sometimes we have a day where we say, oh yeah, this is bad. This is bad. But instead of, our first default reaction is shame. Shame, self-condemnation. We're like, oh, I'm so awful, blah, 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 blah. That's from the enemy. That's not from the Lord. What if instead of shame on those days, we defaulted to a place where we said, wait a second, I need to let this open my eyes to the fact that I have not experienced his power in this part of my life at all. That maybe I haven't tasted everything that there is to taste with my relationship with him. Maybe there's more, much more. Maybe there's a freedom here I haven't even begun to explore. And the fact that I'm having this out of control binge is like a spotlight. It's not a moment for shame. It's a moment for a spotlight for the Lord to go, here. Do you want me to heal you here? Do you want more power here? It makes me think of the story in Mark 4. And I think I've used this before, forgive me. I can't remember. Mark 4, where there's the storm. The disciples are in the ship in the terrible, terrible storm, and Christ is asleep. He's on a pillow. He's out. He's not waking up. And they're terrified. The thing about this story, though, is if you look at the account, it's not just a little way, it's some water and they're wet and the storm is blowing them around. It says the ship is full of water. Like, it's taken on water and it's going down. Like, this is a life-threatening situation, and they freak out. He's on the boat with them, but he appears to be asleep, not doing anything. So they wake him up. Why aren't you awake? Why aren't you helping us? We're dying here. And he doesn't stand up and go, oh, I know. I'm so sorry. I know that was scary. He actually rebukes them and says, wait a second. Why are you afraid? Why don't you have any faith? Which to me is so funny because our default setting as humans is to have that adrenaline pumping through our body. Scary situations will trigger our fear. It's not like we have to tell ourselves, oh, I'm afraid. It just starts rushing through our body. I'm sure they were filled with adrenaline and they're like, wait, our boat's going down. Humans get scared over scary things. Yes, of course we're afraid. But his answer shows us an expectation for believers in Christ that's like mind-blowing. The fact that he said to them, no, I'm here. You should be able to transcend even the most terrifying situation through your faith. Like, because you are connected to me, because I am here, because I am with you, there shouldn't even be any fear. Oh! Talk about a moment of self-awareness. I'm sure the disciples, when they got on that boat, were very confident in their faith in Christ. They had left everything to follow him. They had a whole list of the reasons why they were the faithful. They were the ones, they were his chosen. So maybe they were a little self-satisfied with their faith level, but have a moment that just explodes in fear. Their fear comes out. Christ can look at them and go, can you see? Spotlight. I'm shining a spotlight on an area where you have not yet received my full level of power. You can transcend even where you're at. You can transcend even the scariest and most terrifying situations through my grace. As I infuse that power in you, you can sleep on a pillow too. What if our binge moments are just like that? It's a moment for a spotlight to shine on an area where we haven't gone as far as we can go as disciples of Christ. I mean, to me, that's a gift. This is why it's a gift, because he's going, I have treasure, riches, great riches for you. That was what Paul was talking about in Ephesians. I have riches for you to experience. And if we've be kind of plateaued in our relationship with him, where we think we're experiencing it, these type of moments, whether it comes through binge eating, whether it comes through a scary diagnosis or a financial crisis or some sort of adversity, it's the Lord's way of spotlighting and going, do you want more in this area? Look, here's an area where you haven't tasted it yet. Here's an area where I can take you farther. Do you see how different that is than shame and condemnation, self-condemnation about that? Yes, the enemy can just make us spiral about our binging. And what good does that do? To just beat ourselves up. But if we can see God in it, if we can see the Lord coming, spotlighting, I even see him with a little twinkle in his eye. I do. Not shaking his finger going, why are you doing that? A twinkle in his eye saying, oh, you have no idea what I can do in this area of your life. You just haven't let me in yet. That's what my channel is about, is trying to paint that picture of what he can do if we go, oh, wait, you're right. I have no power in this area right now. Zero. I'd love some. Exceeding great power, Paul said. Exceeding greatness of his power. Yes, even enough to heal food addiction and binge eating and disordered eating. Yes, he can. If we're out of control, it just shows we have not tasted it, and there's more waiting for us as believers. I hope that was helpful today. Don't get caught in shame. Turn your face to him. Look at him, see the twinkle in his eye, and say, yeah, I could use a little power here. Show me how. It may be a journey. It may take some time, but the healing can come through him. He has promised us that. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. I hope that helps. Have a great week, you guys.